specialists.
Our first primetime game is here, and we need you to get loud, Jags fans. Stop by the bank September 23rd for our Monday Night Football watch party as the Jaguars take on the Buffalo Bills. Watch with fellow fans, enjoy appearances from the Roar, Jackson DeVille, the D-Line, and so much more. Doors open at 6:30. Tickets are limited, so grab yours for free now by going to jaguars.com/watch party. We'll see you there.
I'm Max Finke with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Miami Hurricanes have been red hot through their first 3 games of the season as they look to keep the train rolling with a W over South Florida tomorrow. Cam Ward, the early season Heisman Trophy favorite, spoke about him and his receivers constantly being on the same page, has led to him throwing for over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks.
They win their one-on-one matchups. They know how to find the soft spots in zone. So that's something that we've been working on since spring ball. And then I think the film room, just for us all watching it together, me and the receivers, it just helps clears it up because they know what place I'm trying to get to on specific concepts. I know the depth that they have to get to on specific concepts. So everything is timing and ball placement. If you have timing and ball placement, it'll be a lot of coverages.
Tomorrow's matchup at USF is slated for 7 p.m. It's currently 83 degrees at 4:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 39.
For the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Football weekend is here. That's your new drug today. You kidding me? Frangie Carlyon La Selva. Word on the street. Trying to get this confirmed. La Selva's heading west on I-4. Have you heard this?
Wow,
Listen, my intel tells me La Selva's straight west on I-4. What's the plan? I need the details, please. Itinerary.
I actually don't know the route I'll be taking. Okay. I'm usually like a back roads if I can kind of guy, and I know Tampa, you can sort of do that for a lot of the way.
Yeah, good point.
I'm sure I'll have to get on the interstate at some point. I will be at the game tomorrow at 7 p.m., and I'm nervous. I know I probably shouldn't be, but I think USF's going to have something for us.
I think I've got it in the picks, by the way. Just so you know, I got the game.
Cool.
I got the game in the picks.
I think we'll win.
I'll take the Canes.
Yeah.
I've got it in the picks, but and you also could go. That's right. You could go I-10 to 301 to 75 and not be on I-4. So, but I mean, you're leaving in the morning. So what are you doing?
We're leaving in the morning. My buddy lives there, so I'll probably be about noonish, pulling up at his place, have a drink or two there, and then make my way to the stadium as he watches his Gators.
How about that?
Against Mississippi State. What a matchup.
Oh,
matchup
what a showdown that'll be.
Yes.
The whole country's talking about that one. There's no question.
I think they're trying to have a seance and bring Keith Jackson's spirit back to call that one because that's how big the game is.
A seance is what there will be. All right, let me set the scene for you very quickly because we're going to get started on the program. Normally, Doug Pederson joins me right about now, the Jaguars coach. But today's kind of their Thursday because the schedule's off. They're playing on Monday, so their schedule's off a little bit. So he is busy with meetings until about 5 o'clock. So I think he's probably going to join around 5 o'clock today rather than 4 o'clock. So we're going to change the schedule. So you're going to hear from Pete Prisco first, and that's coming up in just a bit. So Pete Prisco in just a bit. We expect to hear from the coach, Doug Pederson, around the 5 o'clock hour. That's the plan. Rafael Esparza is going to talk betting, going to give you the play of the day. We're also going to hear from Josh Hines Allen. So we are busy today. A lot of busy stuff. So let's, without further ado, I want to kick this off. Do want to remind you, by the way, Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Tomorrow is the monthly in-store card show. That's one of the best day of the month when you go to Showtime, and they're all good days. It's from 9 to 4. All kind of great vendors, all kind of great items. There's never a bad time to go to Showtime, but always head to Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles when they have that monthly in-store card show, and they're having it tomorrow from 9 to 4. With that said, without further ado, let's bring in my friend Pete Prisco from CBSSports.com. All right, let's kick this thing off by talking to Pete Prisco, a little NFL talk, a little earlier than usual. Pete, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Frank. How are you?
I am good. We need a win, bro. We need the Jaguars to get a win. We'll get to the Buffalo game in a minute. What did you make of the Cleveland game? We all thought they were going to win the game. It was an odd game. Cleveland only scored 1 touchdown in the game, but then they hung on. What did you make of the ball game?
Well, I didn't think they played very well. I think offensively they got major problems on that offensive line, which, the quarterback didn't play great because he started getting sped up. And The receivers weren't winning. I didn't like the design of the game plan very much either. And so you add it all up, and it was a lot of problems on the offensive side of the ball. And defensively in the first half, they couldn't get them off the field, and that's not a good offense. So there's some concerns there, but the defense has done some good things, and the defense has limited, two teams to point totals that you should win those games. So if you want to point fingers, look at the offensive side of the ball.
How do they, in your mind, how do they fix that? Is it more tempo? Is it maybe throwing more early on, set up the run with the pass? What's your read on that? How do they fix it?
I'm a tempo guy, Frank. I think this team needs to try it. Try fast, try free, try loose, get those wide receivers going, get Trevor Lawrence going, throw to score and run the win. And I go back to the best he's ever looked was against the Chargers. That's the best he ever played anywhere. And he had to. It was a necessity. Well, sometimes you got to do things like that to change the pace and throw the football and let him play that way and let the receivers play that way. There were some plays where the receivers didn't run. I didn't think they ran their routes as crisp as they should have or as hard as they should have. I didn't. There were times when the tackles were terrible. You just got to do something to change it up and pick up the pace. What you've been doing isn't working, so do something differently.
Do you think? And I ask people this a lot, and I get asked it a lot. Are you still? See, I'm still confident they're a pretty good team. I'm not making excuses for them, but you knew these first 4 games. Those 4 teams won 45 games between them last year. They all 4 went to the playoffs. They won 2 playoff games. Everybody, it was a double-digit win team. It was going to be hard. The first 4 were going to be hard. I'm not making excuses, and they've played 2 close games. So I haven't forgotten they're a good team, but you need a win. You know what I mean? I mean, if you start to forget you're a good team if you don't win, if you keep not winning, do you feel differently about who they are now?
It's funny because if ETN doesn't fumble in week 1, they win that game. They're 1-1. They didn't play. Then they can go into Buffalo and say, hey, you didn't play very well. But, you go on Monday night, maybe you upset the Bills. Who knows, in a division game against the Texans on the road, and you split those 2 and you're 2-2 and you feel good. But now you're 0-2. And now you're staring, and you're exactly right. You're staring Buffalo on the road on a Monday night, brutal place to play, and then the Texans. And, there's a distinct possibility they will be dogs in both games, and there's a distinct possibility they could be 0-4. And how do you climb out from underneath that? That's the problem right there. They had to get one of the first 2, and they didn't.
I will tell you this. Mike DeRocco, I think, had the stat. We had it on our show, Pete. Nobody has gone 0-4 to start the season and made the playoffs since 1992. Did you realize that? 92 is the last time it's happened. Pretty amazing. Yeah. I mean,
you get the extra game now, so it's a little bit different, but you're right, though. I mean, 0-4 climbing out of the game, it's hard to get out from underneath that. And it's not like they got layups all the way the rest of the way on that schedule either. It's a tough schedule, and they need to find a way to win one of the next 2, or they can, pretty much get their bags packed and start thinking about the draft.
See, I said the same thing about the next 2. If they can split these next 2 games, I said this, split the next 2. I think they're going to beat Indianapolis at home. They're not going to have Buckner. I think Indy's just okay. The game's here. The Jags, Indy hadn't won here in a decade. So I think they're going to win that game. So split the next 2. Get to London 2-3, and I think you have a good chance to win both of those. Now, if you're 4-3, then you're normal, right? Then it's a normal team that's got playoff aspirations if you're 4-3. So splitting the next 2, to your point, is critical, right?
Has to be, Frank. Has to get one of them. And you're right. When you look at the schedule, sure, they can get to 4-3. Even if they had 3-4, if they step, you're still in it. Because I think the division is going to be a dogfight the entire way. Let's just say you lost to Buffalo, but you won at Houston, and you beat Indy. Then all of a sudden, you look at your division. You're 2-0 in a division. Even if you're 3-4, you're in it. And so, yeah, that's the way it has to be. You have to win. By the time they get to week 8, 7 games coming out of London, they should have 3 or 4 victories. If they don't, then they're in big trouble.
Let's go around the league a little bit. The Jets are the first team. The Jets and the Patriots, the first team to play 3 times. Jets look pretty good under Aaron Rodgers, don't they? I know you like them. What have you thought 3 games in here?
Yeah, and what's interesting about it is they're getting other weapons involved. Because that was the big question for them. Well, one was the offensive line. It seems to have held up. It held up last night against the Patriots. But more than that, getting guys like Mike Williams going, and Lazard has caught some passes, and Conklin's been and then they got the 2-headed monster with Allen and Hall in the running game. So We know they can play defense. They didn't play very well week one, but they played very well since, and so they can get after the quarterback. That's one thing about that team. You know they'll do is rush the quarterback. If I were the rest of the AFC, I'd be a little scared about that Jets team.
Pete, which of the 2-0 teams impressed you the most? The Saints can't possibly be as good as they look, can they? Who's impressed you the most of those teams?
Well, they've been the most impressive, and it's funny how a change in offensive coordinator changes how you feel about yourself. Clint Kubiak has done a great job. He's put in his, the Kubiak, Shanahan tree run game, and they've run the ball very well. Kamara looks like a different guy. Carr's taking deep shots off of the play action and hitting them, and they're playing good defense, and they have a good mix of young and old and good corners, by the way, really good corners, which really helps you the way teams play nowadays. So I think when you look at them, they're the one that's been as impressive as anybody. You go to Dallas and beat them up the way you did, really impressive. And they get the Eagles this week. And the Eagles can't stop the run, 6.4 per rush. I mean, that's a number that stands out all across the league. They're the worst run defense in the league. And the Saints have battered teams on the ground. I think they'll run the football on them.
In the AFC, Pete, the undefeated teams, the Bills we just talked about, Chargers and Chiefs, Texans, Steelers. The Steelers don't look like that's my old team I root for forever, but they don't look very good to me. They're good defensively. I don't think they're very good offense, regardless of who ends up playing quarterback. The Texans look very good to me. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I haven't seen the Chargers yet under Harbaugh. So of that group of 2-0 teams, who impressed you the most?
Well, I think Harbaugh's team is physical. The Steelers are physical, but they're both, for whatever reason, Herbert hasn't thrown for over 200 yards. Now he hasn't had to, but I think eventually he's going to have to. And that's where they get the advantage over a team like the Steelers, who they play this week, because they can throw it around if they need be. We wonder if the Steelers can. The Texans are good. I'm a little concerned, though. There's been some flaws, and for all the talk about C.J. Stroud, his numbers going berserk and everything else, they haven't in the second season yet, and nor has anybody else. By the way, the quarterback numbers are way down because the offensive line play is so bad. But he got hit last week. A little concerning there. But yeah, you're right. If you had to rank those teams, they're probably the best in that group.
You made an interesting point that you believe that the reason offense is down is offensive line play. So I'm gonna take that a step further. I think what you're saying is, because I kind of agree with it, is tackles can't keep up with edges anymore. It used to be great tackles and great edges. There's far more great pass rushing ends than there are offensive tackles. I think it's more that than guard, center, guard. Don't you?
Well, I think you get a lot of pressure on the inside. I think more than that, Frank, we know they have great athletes, but a lot of these athletes are looping and stunting, and when you don't work together, physically work together,
right.
And talking to offensive linemen like Tony and Kyle Long, right, where the one thing, they go work on their sets and their stunts and passing things off and everything with other offensive linemen and dummies. Well, you can't do that. You can't simulate the speed of that. And so there's no hitting. There's no hitting in practice, or very limited. So by the time you get to a game, you're not dealing with the speed very well. And we saw that last week. There were a couple plays where Cam Robinson gets to the next level where he's supposed to get to, and they have a big run off the backside, and he didn't get there. It's the speed that they don't practice against. So you combine that with the fact that everybody's playing off coverage and daring you to be patient. And it's hard to be patient and go through your progressions and reads when you got guys blasting you all the time. So I think it's a combination of the two, but most of all, it's the offensive line play.
All right, final thing before we get back to the Jaguars. As we look up now in 2 or 3 weeks, will the Ravens and Bengals have fixed it? They're 0-2, but I still feel like they're both good teams. They've had tough schedules. They've both played the Chiefs. I would not have called the pass interference. I know we got there a hair early, but the 4th and 16 interference, I think that's a play on. That's my opinion. I saw the replays. He was there a fraction early. I wouldn't have called it. Are the Bengals and Ravens going to be okay?
Well, I'll tell you what. The Ravens have a tough one at Dallas this week. If they go to Dallas and win, they're fine. If they go to Dallas and lose and they're 0-3, they got Buffalo coming in there the following week, and all of a sudden they're staring at potential being 0-4. So big game for the Ravens. My concern with them is, number one, offensive line. I mean, their line isn't very good. They rotate the right tackle. It's a weird situation. And so I think that's a big major issue for them. And they lost to Gardner Minshew at home. I mean, that's not a good look. As far as the Bengals, I think they'll be fine. I think you saw that against the Chiefs. They started figuring out who they are. Their pass rush was good. The quarterback played well. I think they'll figure it out. They'll be one of those, aside from a turnover, they probably win that game. So they'll be right back in the middle of things.
Final thing. The Jags go to Buffalo. Tough place to play. Monday Night Football, a lot of juice, even though there's 2 games Monday night, a lot of juice, a lot of people following it, a lot of people excited about it. The Jags, I think desperate teams sometimes play better. Undefeated teams sometimes are asleep at the wheel. What do you expect? What do the Jags have to do to win the game, Pete?
Well, I think they have to score. I mean, they got to start playing down the field. I mean, enough with, playing in a phone booth. You're not that dominant on defense, even though they've done some good things. You got to take chances. You got to take shots early in the game, early downs, tempo, just go. To me, it's one of those things. They've had a lot of 2-man routes, and 2-man routes don't get open. And 2-man routes eventually, like it did the other day, ended up with a sack. Even though Mitch Morse did a good job on his guys, guy got a sack because he held him. He had to hold up for a long time. So I think play fast, play loose, play free, go score. And see how it holds up because, Josh Allen's going to get his, and they've run the ball really well. Their offensive line, one of the better ones in the league. They've actually done a good job. So I think this is a real challenge for Jacksonville. But if you're going to show up, this is the time to show up because if you don't, you have major problems.
Pete Prisco from CBS Sports, always brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Pete, thanks, man. Have a good weekend.
You got it. Take care, Frank.
And I will tell you, Showtime is the place to go one more time. Tomorrow, the monthly in-store card show from 9 until 4. They've got all kind of great vendors, great items. It's always a great place to go. If you root for somebody, you should go to Showtime because, man, they've got great stuff for the teams that you care about. I promise you they have that. It's located at the corner of Phillips and Chad. You can find them on all the social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We come back, we'll get the best plays of the week. Hays will break it down with Rafael Esparza. You'll also hear from Josh Hines Allen, some Jaguar talk. A little bit later on, we'll talk about the college stuff. We expect Doug Pederson, the Jaguar head coach, around the 5 o'clock hour. Got a lot to do on this Friday, always brought to you by Big Chief Tire with 5 locations in town. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show
from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Saturdays in the South are made for football. Yes, but you can get the game day feeling on Friday night on the Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
The big games, the big matchups.
Friday night at 6. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound & Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundAndSecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employee.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's a Monday morning must.
We actually found it!
Yes. Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Monday mornings at 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the drill on 1010XL.
Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need help fixing a plumbing issue? Let our winning team go to work for you. 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This is Hays Carlyon for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate. Full of choices and all of them good.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frank Frangie, JJ La Selva. I'm Hays Carlyon, and we are pleased to be joined with our good friend at MyBookie, Rafael Esparza. He's going to give us the breakdown. You hear him with Ballou all the time. Does a great job on Into the Night with Rick Ballou, but we're certainly excited to have him on the Frangie Show to talk about our local teams here. Rafael, how you doing?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great, and definitely want fans to be aware that MyBookie double deposit bonus right now. Again, use promo code 1010XL when you sign up, and you're going to get richly rewarded for doing so. Rafael, let's jump right into it because I'm a Gators fan. I can't figure out how is my team, who looks so woeful, 6.5, 7 point, depending on, you can give us the number, what you have. How is this team a touchdown favorite over anybody, let alone a road game in the SEC? How do you see this?
I'm with you on that one. I'm a little bit shocked, even though most of the money is coming in. And last time I saw, it was like 90% of the money was coming in at on Mississippi State at 6.5 over at MyBookie. But some of the sharp money came in late on Florida, so it's going to be very interesting. It's an early kickoff noon game. I don't think we're going to see that much line movement. I would not be shocked if we see Florida close at a 6-point favorite like it opened. So this was a puzzled one. I'm just going to sit back and watch this one, and I hope Gator fans and Cowbell fans do. Just sit back and watch it, and hopefully one of your teams gets that W that they need.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, FSU, sort of same situation, not with the coaching upheaval that'll be coming in Gainesville, but certainly a tough start. Cal comes in undefeated. Florida State, a 2.5-point favorite. It looks like, correct me if the number has changed. What do you like this one? Is this one that you play? And how do you see this one going?
Well, I've been telling people in college football, especially in the great state of Florida, maybe not bet your team this until they get that W. I do lean towards the Seminoles here. College is awful on the road. They've dropped 15 out of their last 20 road games. I know they beat Auburn, but I think down the road we're going to see what kind of team Auburn really is, especially San Diego State, who was devastated on offensive lineman injuries. I think that's why that lopsided score. I'm leaning towards the Seminoles. They're at home. I think Cal finally shows up. I think they dropped their first game, and FSU finally gets that big W.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about a couple big games with actually good teams, and let's start with USC, Michigan, a Big Ten game now. USC, a 4.5-point favorite. I would lean to Michigan here, but how do you see this?
I can't believe Michigan money's coming in. Do they think Khakis is walking through that door to coach this game? I don't understand. I think USC, who has showed a lot of speed on defense when they played LSU and had no problem with the LSU defense, I like USC big. I think this can be a very lopsided game. I am not sold on these Michigan kids who still have our wins even going to count. Is our championship last year even going to count? I like USC big here. I think they beat them by double digits.
Wow, how about that? All right, and then let's get your thoughts on Tennessee going to Oklahoma. How do you see this one? Vols a 7-point favorite.
Tennessee, Oklahoma is the biggest game on the board. It has the most bets for all of college football Saturday, and almost 70% of all the games on Sunday. That's how big this game is. I'm just glad there's no UFC on that nighttime so I can really watch this game. I like Tennessee. I just think they have a little bit more offense. I think Oklahoma's defense will be able to slow them down a little bit, but I think in the second half, that's when Tennessee flexes their muscles. I'm going to wait and see if this one comes down. Oklahoma money is starting to come in as we speak right now. This one might get off that evil 7. We might see 6.5 tomorrow.
Wow. Rafael Esparza joining us from MyBookie. Let's before we get to the NFL and the Jaguars, do you have a college game tomorrow that you particularly love?
I'm excited for Tennessee, Oklahoma. I don't know if maybe because Papa White decided not to have a UFC event and I can finally just focus on a good college football game. I'm glad this game is not at noon or 1 kickoff. It's a night game, so I'm really excited to see if Oklahoma's defense can bother Tennessee's offense. So I'm really excited for that game.
Nice. What about Sunday in the NFL? The Jaguars are Monday night, but anything on Sunday that grabs you that you like in terms of the line?
Who would have thought 2-0 Los Angeles Chargers would be facing the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers? Raise your hand if you had that on your NFL bingo card.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
like Pittsburgh. They're going to be 3-0 maybe, and Baltimore still might be looking for a win because I think Big D might show up against Baltimore. Everyone's betting Baltimore. Big D is going to be probably a big sportsbook fan for tomorrow. But I think Steelers go 3-0, and if you have total season wins at 8, you're looking really good right now.
No doubt about it. How many points do you have to give if you take the Steelers? 3?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 2.5 or 3, depending on where you go. We have 3 right now, but we're probably going to get ready to drop that down to 2.5.
Okay, Rafael, we'll get you out on the Jaguars Monday night game at Buffalo. What do you like? I think I've seen the Jaguars somewhere 6.5 point dog. They traditionally play Buffalo well, but how do you see this? If you had to bet it, which side are you going to be on?
I'm going to wait till Monday because every Monday it's always favored and over. If you can get 6.5 and maybe even 7 on Jacksonville, that might be a good play because I think the dog barks on one of those games. I think Jacksonville is the dog that barks. I think Cincinnati blows out Washington.
Great stuff. Rafael Esparza, we certainly enjoyed it. We'll look forward to doing this every Friday.
I can't wait. I love the people of Jacksonville, and my brother-in-law lives in Jacksonville.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, we certainly appreciate it and appreciate all your insights. And once again, my bookie double deposit bonus. Use that promo code 1010XL, and it's fantastic stuff. Raphael, thanks so much. Have a wonderful and profitable weekend.
You too. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Great work, and he feels the same way I do. What in the world are the Gators doing being favored in that game? Let's take a break. I was going to go to Josh Hines Allen. We're running a little bit late. Let's take a break. You're going to hear from the outstanding defensive end of the Jaguars. You're also going to hear some college football talk. We got a lot more to do. We do expect Doug Pederson at the top of the hour. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
There's a lot more to it than a tight spiral and an accurate pass.
Everyone agrees that playing quarterback is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Denny Thompson is the Quarterback Whisperer. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet. Friday mornings on The Drill.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, with 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Getting you ready for the game. Pre-Game Friday. Brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Attention poker enthusiasts. The Ladies International Poker Series celebrates its 20th anniversary at Best Bet Jacksonville, September 20th to 22nd. The highlights include a World Poker Tour Mega Satellite, free Q&A session with the First Lady of Poker, Linda Johnson, and Women's Poker Hall of Famer, Jan Fisher. There's also a $300 Ladies Championship No Limit Hold'em tournament and the $200 Kings and Queens event. Don't miss this action-packed weekend. For full details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet Jacksonville, where the cards are hot.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
If If your favorite colors are orange and green, stay close to South Beach this season.
Your source for weekly Canes news and nuggets on 1010XL is the Hurricane Report.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve on 1010XL.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
It's time to take it back to the 90s, Jags fans. Be at the bank Sunday, October 6th as we debut our Prowler throwback jerseys against the Colts and induct legendary head coach Tom Coughlin into the pride of the Jaguars at halftime. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. You're not going to want to miss this matchup. Lock in your seats now by going to Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars offensive coordinator Press Taylor was asked this afternoon if Jaguars rookie first-rounder Brian Thomas Jr. has earned more targets in the offense.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's proven he belongs. He's proven that the moment's not too big for him. He's done well against good players. That's what we anticipated from him, but it is exciting to see. And then, again, like I've always said, I think there's so much ahead for him. How he's going to grow each and every week of, we've played 2 games. We've played 100 snaps. So I think his future's bright, and I think he's going to grow right along with the offense, just being consistent down in, down out.
Jags OC Press Taylor on Brian Thomas Jr. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The coach speaks. Jaguars coach Doug Pederson joins Frank Frangie right now. Presented by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
And we welcome you back to the program. It is a pleasure. Frank Frangie with you as we welcome in the coach, Doug Pederson, who joins us on a Friday afternoon. Doug, how are you, man?
Hey, Frank. Doing well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for fitting this in. I know the schedule's a little different when Monday night game comes around. How is that for a coach? Is it different for your guys to have to kind of adjust your days a little bit?
It is different. We basically have a bonus day at the beginning of the week. So actually Monday was kind of our bonus day for planning, and we could actually jump ahead and look at Houston next week just a little bit, and spend that time looking at a little Houston tape, and then Tuesday was like a typical Monday for us and the players. Bring them in the building, watch the Cleveland game, make the corrections, and then Wednesday was a typical day off for the players. Coaches are game planning now for Buffalo, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday are our work days, and then we'll travel on Sunday. So it pushes things back a day, but gives really the players too a chance to kind of get in the treatment room, watch a little extra tape, recover just a little bit, and get ready for Monday night.
And speaking of Monday night, Doug, we all, whether it's our generation or their generation, and by the way, I'm older than you, but I'm welcoming you into my generation. But we all grew up watching Monday Night Football. We really did. That's got to be a big deal for those guys, right? There's got to be a little more juice when you play on Monday night, right?
It is. It's still an exciting time. It's even though I know there's 2 games this Monday, but it's still a great opportunity. A lot of people tune in and watch, and just football fans in general. So the guys definitely get a little more energy going into these games, and look forward to playing in them.
Doug, I know you're a little concerned about the offense as you go into this Buffalo game. What do you do to get it going? Obviously, third downs are a big part of that. I know that. But as you look at your team offensively, what are some of the things you want to kind of work on here as you get ready for this game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we got to just start showing more consistency. We've made some mistakes that are just sort of the bonehead mistakes, not necessarily what our opponents have done to us, but what we've done to ourselves. And those are the things that we can't continue to make on the field and correct those. And I think the run game helps us do that, kind of settles into football games, and having some success there would also help. And you got to just stay out of third and longs. And to do that, you got to do better on first and second down and be more efficient. And, last week was a unique game because we didn't have many possessions in the first half. I think Cleveland had a 16-play drive out there, 11-play drive out there, and they had another 17 or so play drive in the second half. And so defensively, we've got to get off the field and find a way there to do that. And then, the other thing too is we've got to begin to, create some takeaways. That's another way of getting more touches for your offense. And I know they're coming. We've been close, and guys have been working hard at that. But, just overall, our communication process, execution a little bit, will help us, and jumpstart our team.
Doug, offensively with Brian Thomas Jr., he may be even better than I thought. I wonder how you feel about that. I got to tell you, as a play-by-play guy, the one thing you say is, they tell us, is don't ever anticipate, right? I thought that ball was overthrown. I don't know what's from your angle, but from up in the booth, I was convinced it was overthrown, and then he caught the dang thing. I don't know how you saw it, but is he maybe even better than we all expected?
I think so. Obviously there were some flashes and some really great plays on tape, from LSU, and just seeing the speed in person, it's real and he has it. And really, when you watch Brian practice, you think he's gliding. It's almost like it feels like he's taking it easy, but he's really not. And that speed shows up in practice, and it shows up in games. And so those are things that we're obviously excited about with him, and how we can use that to our advantage, obviously offensively. And he's made, 2 weeks in a row now, he's gotten in behind the defense, and obviously drew the DPI penalty week 1, and then the big pass completion, in week 2. So just continue to work it, but he's definitely opened our eyes, to that speed and what he can bring to us.
Doug, let's talk about the Bills for a second. And any conversation about Buffalo has to start with Josh Allen. Obviously, he's such a good player. What do you see when you look at the Bills on tape?
Everything runs through Josh, quite frankly, and really probably more so, this year. He's really managing that team. I know the running game has really taken off and done some good things, and he's not having to throw the ball as much. And when he does throw it, he's efficient. And then defensively, they're creating takeaways, and Coach McDermott has done a great job there. He's been, obviously 8 years. Him and Coach Babbage have been together on defense now for that long. And so there's you see a lot of simplicity, but it's complex, if that makes sense. I mean, These guys, they work well together. They disguise well, and they communicate well, and it's a scheme that's been, it's been in the works now for, like I said, for 8 years. But on offense, that's what it is. It's going to go through Josh, and he's protecting the football, obviously, and it's just 2 games, but he's done a nice job of protecting the ball, and defensively they're creating takeaways.
Doug, how do you manage your team? Obviously, it's only been 2 games, but everybody wants to win every game, and it's been 2 close games, and everyone knew you had a tough schedule to start the season. Do you keep your guys motivated? I mean, I think you're really good at that. I told you that the other day offline. I sense that the team's in a good place. Are they when you meet with those guys?
They are. And part of my job is to put it in front of our guys, show them the mistakes we're making, show them the good plays we're making, so that they can see it. They can see it as a team. And we talk about accountability all the time. And I think that's part of my job is to show these players. And so when they see it and they see it in front of their peers, the good and the bad, it makes them sort of wake up, but it makes them, just strain a little bit harder and do their jobs a little bit better. And that's all it's going to come down to, and we don't have to reinvent football or reinvent the wheel. We just continue to work. And I think our defense has played outstanding these first two games. I know we gave up the big plays in Miami, but really since then we've settled in and have done some nice things against Cleveland last week, and they'll continue to grow, and same with our offense.
Yeah, I agree with you about the defense, Doug. I think they've played. I think Monteric Brown was terrific. I think guys you called on were very good. Final thing, from a health standpoint, you didn't have Savage last week. You lost Evan in warm-ups. Tank Bigsby took a big blow early on. Any updates on those guys? Will they be game time stuff? Do you have anything yet?
I think Evans probably a long shot for this game. He's progressing good, but I think he's probably gonna miss this game again. Another game. Savage is kind of day to day right now. We'll see where he's at tomorrow and get to practice tomorrow and see what he can do there. And and Tank's shoulder, he'll be fine. He took a shot on it there during special teams at kickoff return, and but he should be good to go for the game. And and we're in a good place. Health-wise, we just got a couple of guys here and there. Tyson's, obviously he's out for a little while, but we're in a good spot, and it's always been a next man up mentality, and that's what we got to do Monday. Yeah,
you guys have really shown that. I said Monteric Brown. I thought Brenton Strange played well. I think you've had the depth of the team has showed up, so I think it has. Monday Night Football coming up in Buffalo. Doug, I know it's a crazy schedule for this week. Thanks so much for taking time, man. I'll see you on the plane on Sunday. Look forward to it.
All right, Frank. Thank you so much. Okay,
Doug Pederson, the Jaguar coach. That is Coach Speaks, and he always finds some time to spend some time with us, so we really do appreciate that. It's a weird schedule for him this week. It's kind of an odd schedule. Again, Thursday is their Friday, right? And so, or Friday is their Thursday, I should say. So, but I think he's got the team in a good place. I really believe that.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, we could be having a totally different discussion about this team in 10 days. I mean, It could be they're 2-2 with wins at Buffalo and Houston. And at that point, you then are probably on the other side of the spectrum where you're too excited, with a 2-2 team. But if you go and beat Buffalo, and I think they're going to, and then you turn around and win a game in Houston where they won last year, then all of a sudden that 0-2 start is, it's ancient history. Now, having said that, you got to go do it because your back is a little against the wall with the 0-2 start. If you drop this game, get to 0-3, the odds are incredibly long. And if you drop the Houston game as well at 0-4, it's basically insurmountable. So, I think they're going to play like a team whose season is already kind of on the brink Monday night. And Buffalo, all they've heard for 11 days is how they're not going to lose all season. And so it's the way the NFL works. It's one of those things that I could be totally wrong, but my gut tells me the Jaguars are going to win this game. Yeah,
I will say, to your point, I do think they're going to play like their hair is on fire in this game. I do think that 0-2 teams that are pretty good, that are maybe same with the Ravens, same with the Bengals, 0-2 teams that are pretty good generally find that gear when they need it. So I think you're right. I think they'll play well in this game. My thinking all along, and I've said this, I think I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. And again, what I told Doug, I told him this offline. We spent some time yesterday, and I'll say it again now. I said it to him. He's good at managing them. You know what I mean, Hays? He's good at he's a good leader. He knows when to push, when to pull back. I really believe that. I mean, I'm biased to the guy that you get to know well, and I like him, and he's a friend. But I think beyond that, I think he's good at that. I think he's good at managing a disappointed team, at keeping a team from being complacent. I think he does a really good job of that. I really believe that. So we'll see how they land. I think if you can split the next two, somehow get one of these next two, come home and beat Indy. I said this yesterday. Then you go to London 2-3, and I'm very confident they'll win both those games. I just am. I watched
the Patriots looked dreadful last night.
And the Patriots have to go over there. Jacksonville's accustomed to going over there. The Bears are going to be a good young team. I think Caleb Williams is going to be good. But I think that trip across the pond for them as well.
They have a lot of growth between now and that game for me to think the Bears are going to win.
Yeah, so if you can get to London 2-3 and then come out of London 4-3, which I think they will, now that's normal.
Yeah, you're
now,
fine.
Now you're a 4-3 team.
With 10 games left.
Correct, which is a normal record for a team trying to get to the postseason. So then everybody calms down a little. So I think find a way to get one of these next two games. I hope they will. Thanks again to Doug Pederson for spending some time with us.
Yeah, great job
on the program today. We really appreciate him doing that. We'll take a break. When we come back, some college football. Got a couple college games. Have you heard? 2 college games coming up.
Do I have to watch?
You have to watch. Well,
can I call in sick on a day I'm technically not working?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We'll talk Gators and Knowles and the games they have coming up this weekend. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL. It's just the Jags and the NFL.
That's all I ever think about.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony bring you Jaguars Today.
Exactly.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studio.
Let's do this, shall we?
10 to noon on
1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. It's truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done, like a brand new Silverado 1500. This month, save up to $10,000 off a new Silverado. For well-qualified buyers, you get rates as low as 1.9% financing and no payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado pickup trucks. Shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you thinking about upgrading your outdoor space with artificial turf? Well, you're going to love working with Caleb at Sunshine Turf. He's genuine, always on time, and really trustworthy. Frank Frangie here. We had Sunshine Turf design and install turf at the Bragan Baseball Complex, and it's gorgeous and maintenance-free. From putting greens to pet runs around pools and more, Sunshine Turf can do it all. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body. For as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Every Friday night in every town in America, communities come together for a time-honored tradition.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. It's been winning season for our listeners over at MyBookie. We're getting a lot of love through the text line with people cashing in. I've been betting too. It makes the game so much more fun. You don't have to bet a lot of money, but it's entertaining. Here are my pro picks this week. The Steelers and Chargers total points has been bet down to 35.5. Look, that's way too low. You got to take the over on that one. I also love to bet against the Titans, and I think Jordan Love is going to be active this weekend for the Packers. But regardless, LaFleur did such a great job with Malik Willis in the win over the Colts. I like the Packers over the Titans. The Falcons are coming off a short week playing last Monday. The Chiefs are coming to town. Give me Kansas City -3.5 over Atlanta. Mahomes over Cousins. For a limited time, MyBookie is bringing the double deposit bonus back. Use that promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your home and save big? Now's the perfect time with Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, it's buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors. That's right, buy one, get one 40% off plus flexible financing options to fit your budget. Our custom-built energy-efficient windows and doors are made with Vibrex, 2 times stronger than vinyl, giving you the durability you need and the savings you want. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to book your free consultation today. Don't wait, this offer won't last. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613. Proud partner of the Florida Gators.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect beer for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home this weekend at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark for the final games of 2024. Tonight is Red Shirt Friday and Hispanic Heritage Night with post-game fireworks, all presented by Florida Blue. More fireworks tomorrow, and the first 2,000 fans get a Scampi plushie, courtesy of FIS and VyStar. Then it's Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day season finale on the CSX First Responders Day.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. As the Bulldogs come off a massive win over Bishop Kenny last Friday, head coach Matt Toblin and his team prepare for Oakleaf tonight. Coach Toblin joined the Friday Night Light Show with Andrew Gibson and Hacker after the game and spoke about how much of a weapon Naheem the Dream Burrows is for his team after his 3-touchdown performance last week.
And he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's such a good blocker. He's such a good teammate. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, it makes it easy to have kids like that on the perimeter.
The 4-star wide receiver, who was last week's Gatorade Player of the Night, looks to help lead his team to another big win when they take on Oakleaf at home tonight at 7:30. Catch the action on 1010 a.m. And flip over to 92.5 FM to catch Bishop Kenny taking on Beachside tonight at 7. It's 82 degrees at 4:58. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now back to a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire. Visit BigChiefService.com.
1 hour to go in the program, 1 hour to go in the week, 1 hour to go before we're out of here. Oh, in the college football world, all centers around Stark Vegas tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central.
Game day's there, right?
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope game day's there, and NFL Live. I hope they're. I think they're both going to be there, as I understand it. Oh my goodness gracious. You asked Raphael this. Let me ask you, because I'm not good at betting lines, and I've just never been in that world very much. So everybody at the station talks about that and understands it better than I do. You among them. How are the Gators a 7-point road favorite over anybody? And I think Raphael kind of explained it a little bit. The money came in on them, which moved the number. But a 7-point road favorite, if anybody's watched this Florida team, that's incomprehensible.
I agree. It's one of the more perplexing lines that I've seen in years. And again, I have watched no Mississippi State, so I will freely admit that. But this is what I do know. I know good Florida teams have gone to Starkville and lost. And this is not a good Florida team. It's also their first true road game. And they are so bad in the trenches. They're also down their best player in Trey Wilson. I don't know. I don't know how, because for people that aren't aware how this works, if you take Florida and give 7, Florida has to beat Mississippi State by 7 or more for you to win the bet. That is how it works. Yeah. I mean, so
even 7 or more. It has to be more.
Yeah. Correct. So I mean,
the Gators have to beat a team by 2 scores.
Right. Not only does Florida have to win this game, if Florida wins the game 21-17, you lose the bet. So it's I can't understand it at all. I think people see, well, Toledo killed them in regards to Mississippi State. And again, I would say Toledo is one of the more stable, smaller programs out there. Their coach has been there for a very long time. Justin Candle, he's highly respected. He's probably going to he's been in line to get bigger jobs. So to me, I'm not sure Toledo wouldn't go in the swamp and do the same exact thing to Florida. So I don't know how this is anything more than either a pick'em or maybe Mississippi State favored by 2 or 3. I mean, I think Mississippi State's going to win the game by 17, but I'm shocked at this line because it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how anyone could think Florida could go on the road against any SEC opponent. Keep in mind, 2 years ago, he lost at Vandy. I mean, Billy Napier lost at Vandy 2 years ago.
Right.
So, anyway, I think it's going to be a long day
with more
for
good players than this team has.
Correct, with a guy that went 4th in the draft.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. All right, so how does Florida play it? Mertz starts. Do we see more Mertz? I don't think we see the alternating possessions this time. What do you think?
I would think it's Mertz's game.
Yeah. Lagway may get in there here or there.
Yeah, I would think for the most part it's Mertz's game. And look, it should be. They both had an opportunity. And you can argue, was it done fairly? One of Lagway's possessions, there's like 50 seconds left.
But it was mostly even.
But it was mostly even, and Mertz was by far the better player.
Yeah.
I think now you got to put it in Mertz's hands and maybe mix in Lagway here or there. But yeah, I think, again, Billy Napier's not saving his job. It's just a question of, can he delay his firing from Sunday until maybe as late as early December? But that's what this is. I mean, the verdict is in. Billy Napier is getting fired. He is not going to be the coach next year. So, if I was Billy Napier, yeah, I would probably go with the experienced guy in Mertz. I will say, I think it's impressive, how efficient Mertz was. Obviously, he knew the vibe in the building, and he stepped up. Go 12 of 15 and play as well as he played. So it probably should be his game. I'd love to see Lagway, just because I think the more you play Lagway, the more of a chance you have of digging out of this hole as you move on, assuming you can convince him to stay. But I think it'll be Mertz, and it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah. All right. Couple thoughts. If Florida wins the game, I don't think they're going to, but let's assume they win the game. Then now they're 2-2. Okay. 2-2. They would be 1-1 in the league. They have an off week coming up. Then they play a home game against UCF, who has Colorado the week before. And all the attention the Colorado games always get, which no matter how good they are, they get it's an attention-seeking game, or attention-producing game. So let's say they win the next 2. I mean, UCF's got a good football team. They're not exactly Ohio State, all right? And it's in Gainesville. And again, they're coming off a game with Colorado, and you're coming off an off date. So assume they win the next.
A C-plus Florida team would normally win that game.
Yeah. So let's assume
this is maybe a D-.
I agree. I agree.
But yes, you're right. It's not a difficult putt.
Well, if you look, so now you're 3-2. Does and the gauntlet follows? By the way, I know that. But if he gets to 3-2, is there more belief?
No,
that he stays.
I think it's totally
I agree with
done.
you, but
and it's a great question because there is so much. That's the thing. There is so much football left.
Right.
But no, I think even if he beats Mississippi State and UCF, the vibe going into the next game is at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, I think the vibe going in would be that he is still going to get fired. I just don't think at this stage. I don't think the university can convince their fans that this man deserves another year of their attention.
Yeah. The problem was even if you get to 3-2, in my mind, just in my mind, based on what I've seen on the field with this Florida team, the only potentially winnable games would be Kentucky and at Florida State. And I would pick them to lose both of those today.
I would too.
But I mean, the only potentially they have one. If you count at Tennessee, Georgia, at Texas, in my opinion, LSU, Ole Miss, who's fifth in the country. Those aren't even possible winners. You could make the argument that if they were a little better, LSU would be a possibility, but they're not a little better. So I don't even think any of those games are possible. There's no Trey Wilson, and now there won't be for a while. He elected surgery. I mean, I think he's gone for the year. If he's not gone for the year, he's gone for a while. Who's going to make plays? Who's going to make plays offensively or defensively? If Mississippi State is as bad as everyone suggests, I will say this. And I haven't watched Mississippi State either, but two people that I know well have watched them and said they're terrible. And so I've had 2 or 3 people told me they think Florida's going to win because you can't imagine how bad Mississippi State is. I've heard that from people that I trust that know football and that have watched the game. So maybe they are. But I will say this. Mississippi State has a brand new coach. So they're going to be upwardly mobile. He ain't going anywhere, okay? Where Jeff Lebby's not going anywhere. Florida's playing for a lame duck coach. And, guys, you're already seeing Trey Wilson. Did he have to have the surgery? I don't know. But you wonder, Joey Slackman, did he have to have the surgery? Or are those guys, and again, I'm not accusing because I don't want to act like I know something I don't.
Right.
But I mean, I'm saying,
those are fair questions when you're mired in this kind of turmoil.
Well, if you're both those guys, particularly if you're Trey Wilson, who may be a star, are you saying, let me have the season's blown up, the coach is going to get fired. If I'm going to have a surgery at the end of the season or whatever, why not have it now? Let's get it over with. Let me get to the portal. You know, you talk about a guy that'll get paid in the portal now. Trey Wilson will get paid in the portal. Mm-hmm. He will really get paid. I mean, if I'm him, aren't you thinking that if you're him?
Yeah, I absolutely. Now, I mean, I think you would hope if you're a Florida fan that Florida will reward him from an NIL standpoint, that he'll stay and play for the next coach. But yeah, absolutely. I think if you're Wilson, you can't go into the draft. So obviously it's either stay at Florida or go to go ring chase at an elite college, and we'll see what he says. But it's I know they talk about behind the walls they're all still together. I just can't imagine. I mean, we both went to that school. There's no chance that those players aren't incredibly aware of what is going to happen here.
I agree with that.
I mean, there is just no chance. They may like Billy Napier. They may still listen to Billy Napier, but there is no chance those players on that campus, as gigantic as it is, there is no chance that they don't know that Billy Napier is getting fired.
All right.
And again, there's no way he's going to win enough. I think he's at the point now that he'd have to win 8.
Yeah.
To get the fan trust back, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's just it.
I mean, I don't think he's going to win 6.
Yeah,
I mean, I think even their path to bowl eligibility is gone.
Fewer than 6, he's not keeping his job, and there's not 6 wins on there. So let's get to Florida State. They play home against Cal. How important is this game? And I want to expound on the question. Okay, how important is this game for Mike Norvell? Now, usually when you ask that means to avoid being fired. He's not getting fired. He's got a 10-year deal. But how important is it for him as you're trying to regain the confidence in your team? Let me point this out. They have yet to play, even after this game, they will have yet to play in front of an opposing crowd. You realize that? They played in Dublin against Georgia Tech. That thing was all FH. That might as well have been Doe Campbell. Seminoles were everywhere. And then they've played 2 home games. Now they're playing a 3rd home game. They have literally not, even after tomorrow night, they will not have played a game in front of an opposing crowd. After that, 3 of the next 4 are on the road, and that includes at SMU, which could be sticky, and at Miami, which is going to be terribly sticky. It's a top 10 team. I think because it's your last one before you get on the road for, now again, you have Clemson at home, but they're good or better than some of the teams you're playing. I think it's a really important game for FSU.
Without a doubt, they've got to start recapturing some momentum, and obviously this season is going to fall well short of their expectations, being a preseason top 10 team, hoping to defend the ACC title, hoping to make the first 12-team playoff. All those things are obviously off the board, but you still don't want it to just fall into the abyss. You don't want a 4-8 here. I mean, you'd like to rally the troops and at least get to a bowl game, get those practices, get a little bit of some momentum back as you move towards 2025. If you start 0-4, losing to Cal, who's, I mean, again, flying 3,000 miles to play this game. I get Cal won at Auburn. It's just, there's also a tinge of the embarrassment to it. You know, like, I don't know that Florida shouldn't be embarrassed that they lost to Miami, and they shouldn't be embarrassed that they lost to Texas A&M. But losing to Mississippi State comes with some embarrassment if you're a Florida fan. Well, it's the same. It's what FSU's had to endure this whole year. Because I would say losing to Georgia Tech is embarrassing. I'd say certainly losing to Boston College, if you're Florida State, is embarrassing, and definitely Memphis is embarrassing. Your coach used to coach Memphis. So then you add Cal on top of it, who, I mean, has no semblance of any football reputation in the South. It's just another embarrassing moment for a program that really looked like it had figured everything out. So I think it's critically important because you've got to start building at some point. You got to start building some momentum, even if it's just to rally and get to like 6-6, which is probably the best they could hope for right now.
All right. Our picks are coming up. You know what? I just want to say this. 16 games in, you're not even over 500. That's really lousy picking. And I want you to tell you, I just want to tell you, you've been a lousy picker at only 8-8.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I just want to say that, okay?
I agree. It's almost like this has been like we're playing the British Open and there's a 40-mile wind in our face at every turn on the course with rain. And because it's the leader in the clubhouse right now is like 4 over.
That's exactly.
But 4 over, amazingly,
win.
is
way
looking
ahead.
pretty good.
Way ahead. We'll take a break. We'll do our picks. That comes up after this. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's the ultimate tailgate. Someone's going to win a tailgate combo pack from Southern Steer Butcher.
Valued at $100.
And it could be you.
Monthly winners get a Corona tailgate tent with a cooler, chair, and
collectible football.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
Hey, John, my dad, Randy Marion's gone absolute Cadillac crazy. You won't believe our Escalade lineup.
Well, how crazy we talking, Jennifer?
Buckle up, folks. We've got over 35 Cadillac Escalades.
35 Escalades? That's luxury overload.
I'm talking fully loaded models, cutting-edge tech, and that signature Cadillac style.
And the deals are even more luxurious. $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Plus 5% off MSRP on retired courtesy vehicles. Head to Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $899 MNP and resistol.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Tomorrow it's Card Show Day inside Showtime, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Around 20 tables of selection from our trusted vendors. Football, baseball, basketball cards, and more. Card Show tomorrow at Showtime. Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Pregame Friday is brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here to congratulate my friends at Big Chief Tire. For the 5th year in a row, Big Chief Tire was named the best tire center in Jacksonville for excellence in tire services. Big Chief Tire has served the Jacksonville community for over 60 years with quality tires, brakes, repairs, alignments, and more. Big Chief is known for fair prices and honest service, and they've built a reputation for treating customers like family. Big Chief offers reliable solutions to keep vehicles safe and running smoothly. Visit BigChiefService.com.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval! Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval? That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval. You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead. I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up. The boss. Because, of course, oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me. That's just not true. What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss." Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you. Go find yours. They may even make you a boss. I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash. Where more is better. And you got that right.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Hey, Hicken here. Are you tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right. The 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's a right way to clean.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime Man Cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows, enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This is a one-of-a-kind Gabriel fashion sale.
Rings, bracelets, earrings.
All new for 2024.
For 3 days only.
September 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The Frangie Show Picks Contest is presented by Sunshine Turf. For the highest quality artificial grass installations at affordable prices, it's Sunshine Turf.
Our friends from Sunshine Turf, my friend Caleb and all the folks out there, the highest quality artificial grass installation, affordable prices. Visit sunshineturf.info, or you can call them at 904-892-0580. Everyone's doing artificial turf here. I can tell you, Caleb brought his people out to our ballpark yesterday, free of charge. Just did a whole servicing of everything just to make sure it was good. How about that?
That's awesome.
That's how good my friends at Surf Sunshine Turf are. Caleb at Sunshine Turf. Give him a call today. The standings look like this. Hays Carlyon, he hails from the bowl school. His record is 8-8. He has 10 total points. He's had a couple game picker-uppers. I am 4-12. That's not against the spread. That's straight up. 4-12, 4 total points. J.J. LaSelva from Ocala Vanguard. He is also 4-12, 4 total points.
Yikes.
So 10, 4, and 4. One of us is pathetically average, and the other two suck, just so you know where we are. So there we go. Let's get right to it.
Early days, Frank.
Yeah, sir. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Miami plays the Brahmin Bulls.
Let's go Canes.
They're going to Miami. J.J. LaSelva, who do you like?
I like the Canes to win, but I like the Bulls to cover. I say Miami by 14.
Hays Carlyon.
Cam Ward will account for 5 touchdowns and a big Canes win.
There's an outside chance that I put this on here just so we can get some wins. I'm just saying. I can't lie. I'll take
then you just sealed it. USF.
Now they're going to win, right? I'll take the Canes as well. Here's a good one. Tennessee at Oklahoma. Josh Heupel playing Hays against the team that fired him. Hays Carlyon from the Moss Pit Grill. Who do you like?
I'm going to take the upset here. Tennessee is doing onside kicks up 30-0. The football gods aren't going to like that. Give me Oklahoma and an upset.
Oklahoma at home. Boomer Sooner, says Hays Carlyon.
Sooner.
I think Tennessee's going to beat the hell out of them. I'll take the Vols. JJ.
I already have a friendly Benjamin on this game with a friend of mine who is way too hyped on OU. I don't think they've looked good at all the first couple weeks. I'm going with Tennessee and Tennessee big.
All right, game picker-upper for Hays Carlyon. I'll go first. Florida State at home against Cal. I just can't pick Cal. I can't beat Cal. Cal's probably going to win. I'm probably going to miss another one. But it's Cal playing FSU. I can't do it. So I'm sorry. I'm taking FSU. I don't know what I'm seeing it. It's like I'm blind. It's not like I don't see it. I just can't get there. So I'll take FSU. JJ.
I didn't watch a second of that Auburn game. I'm sure their defense is fine, but like you, I'm going to go with FSU. Just they're flying so far to this game. FSU has to win a game, right? So I'm going with the Noles.
And now you wonder why Hays is kicking our ass. Go ahead, Hays.
Yeah. Yeah, I've watched that FSU offense 3 games, and I just don't know how they're going to score all that much. So give me Cal to go into Tallahassee and take down the Noles.
Well played. I don't know how long you've had that plan, but well done. You know, I don't know if that came up in the shower. I don't know if you were driving into work, but that is magnificent.
That was from the team.
Mississippi State is at home against Florida. J.J. LaSelva, you're up.
I'm going with the Gators. I've been wrong about them every single week that we've picked, but I think there's something to the point spread. That's really the only reason I'm going with the Gators on the road.
Hays Carlyon.
I will take the Mississippi State Bulldogs and all the cowbells comfortably. I think Mississippi State rolls Florida.
Let me just tell you this. You don't just roll into Start Vegas, okay, and toss it to Montrell Johnson. That's what you don't do, okay? I'll take Mississippi State, and I'll take them easily. Not only do I think they win, even though they're a 7-point home dog, I think they win easily. I really do. So Hays and I, Mississippi State, game picker-upper opportunity for J.J. LaSelva. Jay, let's switch to some little NFL music, shall we? Here's what I decided to do this week. I'm going all division because the division's got some good games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go all with the division. Hays, you're up. The Titans are at home against the Green Bay Packers.
The Packers think they might have Jordan Love. I don't think they probably will, but LaFleur did such a magnificent job with Malik Willis in that running game last week. Plus, Will Levis is just a turnover machine right now in terms of these terrible mistakes. So give me the Packers.
I'm going the other way. I'll take the Titans because it's not in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. JJ.
I just can't imagine the Titans letting Malik Willis come in there and beat them. So just for that, I think the Titans are going to be really hyped defensively, and they're going to win this game 3-0.
All righty. I'll go first here. Vikings at home against the Texans. Ooh, we need Minnesota to win that thing somehow, some way.
2-0 Minnesota, right?
Yeah, 2-0
off of a win against San Francisco last
2-0 playing 2-0. I don't think so. I think the Texans are too good, and the Texans need to win and then have a letdown next week. I'll take Houston. JJ?
I just don't think the Vikings can possibly be that good, right? So I'm going to go with Houston. I don't feel confident about it, but I'll go with the Texans.
Vikings at home.
I feel confident about it. I think the Texans are going to easily win this game. I appreciate Minnesota getting up for the 49ers game and beating them, and Sam Darnold's a great story. I just think with what Houston has right now defensively, I think Sam Darnold's going to be running a lot.
Bears at the Colts, Hays.
I will take the Colts reluctantly. I don't really like either team in terms of how they look, but I'll say that Indianapolis is able to muster enough on the ground, and Caleb just doesn't look comfortable yet. So give me Indianapolis.
I'll take him as well. JJ?
Yeah, 3 for 3 with the Colts. I just think the Bears, that offense is not ready yet. That quarterback's not ready yet. I'm not thinking AR is either, but he looks a little bit more mature in the NFL right now than Caleb.
And finally, the Moneyball. Bills at home against the Jaguars. J.J. LaSelva.
I think the Bills are a better team. They're at home. It is Monday night. A lot of me is thinking about what Hays says. The Jags' back is against the wall. I'm still going to go with the Bills reluctantly here. I just, especially at home, at night, that crowd, I'm going with the Bills.
He drove a brown Buick onto that Bowles campus, wasn't afraid.
Right.
Some people were afraid.
For it.
He squeezed it right in between those Mercedes and those Beamers and took their
made Bo and Luke proud with how I drove that car through the Bulls parking lot. But yes, it was a lot of fun. I think
I just got that reference, by the way.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
I think the Jaguars win 28-24. The Bills get to the 18-yard line of the Jaguars with 4 seconds left, and a Josh Allen pass into the end zone is broken up. And the Jaguars win an incredible game, 28-24. Jaguars get back on track.
Big score for you. You get game picker-upper and Moneyball if you win it, because I think the Bills win on the road. So here's how our picks look. In college, we all like the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, we do.
JJ and I both think Tennessee wins at Oklahoma. Hays Carlyon likes Oklahoma at home. JJ and I both think FSU wins at home against Cal because we're idiots. Hays likes Cal to go in there and win. JJ thinks Florida's going to win at Mississippi State. Hays and I both like the Bulldogs. In the NFL, JJ and I like the Titans at home. Hays likes the Packers on the road. We all three think the Texans are going to beat the Vikings and the Colts are going to beat the Bears. And Hays likes the Jags. JJ and I both like the Bills. Those are our picks. One more time, the records look like this. 8-8 for Hays, 10 total points, 4-12 for me. 4 total points, 4-12 for JJ, 4 total points. Hays has the only 2 game picker-uppers of the year, and none of us have hit a money ball yet. So
what is that?
The money ball is the Jag. I'm sorry. I guess we should have told you the rules, shouldn't we?
That's all right.
The money ball is always a Jags team. You get an extra point if you get the Jags right, and you get an extra point if you pick one that the other 2 pick differently. So that's how that works.
So the Jags game, you can actually get 3 points on.
That's
because
you're
you get the money ball.
Like you would get 3.
And you get the game picker-upper if you're the only one.
Yeah, so if the Jags win, Hays gets 3 points on that game.
Gotcha.
So there you go. That's how we do this. So it'll be a lot of fun. Picks are an awful lot of fun. Let's take a break. We've got 1 segment to go. Also want you to hear from Josh Hines Allen, the terrific pass rusher who's going against Josh Allen. Josh Allen versus Josh Allen, sort of. When we come back, you'll hear that. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing Saturday night under the lights in Bristol, Tennessee. It's the Bass Pro Shops night race, 500 laps around the half-mile track. It's also the final race of round 1 of the playoffs, meaning 4 drivers will be eliminated from the championship field at the conclusion of Saturday night's race. Denny Hamlin, who won at Bristol back in March, is the betting favorite to take the checkered flag, plus 400. Kyle Larson is at plus 550. Christopher Bell, plus 600, while Ty Gibbs is plus 1,000. Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher, both plus 1,200. This update brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Florida homeowners are going to extreme lengths to stay cool this summer.
We sit in front of the refrigerator with the door open and only eat frozen foods while they're still frozen and put ice cubes down our pants. Whoa, that's cold.
But the most popular and cost-effective way can be summed up by a quack. Just call Duck Duck Air Conditioning. For AC repairs to new installations, you too can beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon for MyBookie. Embrace the start of football season with MyBookie. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And also check out their cool prop bets. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a double bonus. For a limited time, MyBookie will double your money on your first deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Jaguars are a 5.5-point underdog at Buffalo. The over-under is 45.5 points. The Gators are somehow a 6.5-point road favorite against Mississippi State. The Noles, a 2.5-point home favorite over Cal. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it is a double bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville where you can score big all season long.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Call State Farm agent Scott Hobson in Ponte Vedra at 479-9000.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T.
Bring it in!
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here, and it's time to beat Big Joe. Each week, my buddy Big Joe from Bono's Barbecue will pick 10 college football games. Pick more wins than Big Joe that week. You'll get entered into a drawing to win a $25 Bono's gift card. If you pick more wins than Joe all season long, you'll be entered to win the grand prize: 2 tickets to the SEC Championship game, 2 tickets to the Dr. Pepper tailgate party, and $1,500. Enter to win on the Bono's app. The contest ends on November 23rd. Grand prize winner will be named on the 25th. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and X to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Googie Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars defensive lineman Eric Armstead on his breakdown of the Week 3 opponent.
Bills, Monday Night Football on the road in Buffalo. Another AFC opponent, a team that is starting off their season very well, 2-0. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. It's going to be a huge challenge for us. The things I'm thinking about in a primetime game, everybody watching is an opportunity for us to get things turned around. And what a better opportunity than on primetime in front of the world to play the brand of football that we want to show the world.
Eric Armstead on the Third and Long podcast. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now back to a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire. Visit BigChiefService.com.
All right, glad you're with us. We continue along. Frangie and Carlyon, La Selva with you. We'll wrap the program in just a minute, but I want you to hear from one of the Jaguars' best players. It's only been 2 games, but he's been active, and he's played a lot of plays too, hasn't he?
He has, and he has a great track record against the Bills. I mean, go back to that 21 win, 9-6. Josh Hines Allen has a sack and an interception, just dominates the game. So he has a ton of confidence, I think, because of that. And we talk about it in the interview. But yeah, it's also kind of, while he's got that confidence, it's tough right now. They're 0-2, and they've got to get a win.
Hays Carlyon earlier today with pass rush extraordinaire Josh Hines Allen.
We are pleased to be joined with Jaguars defensive end Josh Hines Allen here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. About yourself?
I'm doing great. Monday night spotlight. How exciting is that for you?
Be one of the only games on TV. You grow up watching Monday night, Sunday night games, so it's prime time. You want to play your best on prime time, but you also want to get a win, and that's really our main focus going into this week.
How's the team bounced back from the 0-2 start?
Man, we came to practice ready to play. I think these last couple practices have been ready. We've been playing fast. We've been knowing what we need to do. We've been executing. We've been taking the ball away. We've been very effective, and communication's been great. Guys are getting extra work after practice individually to get better and to build that confidence up for each and one of everybody. So, I'm very confident this week going into a hostile environment, and we're expecting it to be a great game.
You've had some outstanding performances against the Bills. Does that give you some extra confidence going into Monday?
For sure. But I know, going against them, man, it's going to be a tough fight at the end of the day. So, if I'm ready, if I go in there with the mentality that I'm invincible, and it's going to be a tough game, I got to bring my A game every single play. Yeah, I'm going to be ready. But if I go in there thinking that it's going to be a cakewalk because I've had success with them in the past, it's going to be a long day for me. So for me, it's just to go in, prep for the week, prep for the rushes, prep for the, physicality that's going to be. And, Monday comes, I done laid it all out there in practice. So just go out here and play fast.
What stands out to you about their pass protection when you study them?
the quarterback first and foremost. He's a heck of a player. He makes that offensive line really good. But they also have a good offensive line as well. My matchup, I like, Deion Dawkins. I think he's a heck of a tackle. And I know that battle is going to be an all-pro battle. And I'm looking forward to it. And likewise on the other side with Spencer Brown. So, I'm excited about this matchup. We got to, get him in past situations and take advantage of those opportunities and, keep going, be physical with him.
Obviously, it's a team game, but defensively, you guys really have had two really productive games to start the season. Josh, are you happy with the strides defensively that you guys have made?
No, we 0-2.
In terms of the coverage, do you like what you're seeing there?
Definitely. They've definitely done their job. Definitely been locking things up, and we just got to continue. But that's the identity, that's the standard that we set for each other is to play at this level. But at the end of the day, we're 0-2, and that's what we care about. That's what we worry about. And what can we do better? What can we do differently to get a win in that column? That's what we're figuring out now.
James Cook has really had an outstanding start to the season. What makes Buffalo's ground game so potent, in your opinion?
Staying consistent on the run. I think, when the running game's not going early in the game, they continue to run the ball. And plus, with Josh, he does a good job on, making up the running lanes. And so now it makes you have to play a little bit timid or like, okay, we got to put a safety down in the box or take a safety out. So now they run in the light box against other guys. But, for us, man, we have to win the battle up front. I think every game is won up front. And it's another game we have to take advantage of.
You've always had such a special connection with this fan base. Tell us a little bit about the event you have coming up.
I have a fan event tonight, a jersey exchange. Guys that, families or women or men, kids who have bought Josh Allen jerseys in the past, they have opportunity to, they filled out a lot of information. So I got a lot of people filled out, ready to exchange. We sold out all our jerseys that we were, putting up. It's going to be our main event. We're going to have a great time. It's not only just, me and me, but, once you do a jersey, it's not just grab your jersey and go. Sit down, have a great time, play some games with your family, eat some good food, and, let's just all have a, good time together. And that's what I'm excited about. I love giving back to my city, and because they give back to me as well. So
awesome. Josh Hines Allen, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck Monday night.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been? We just heard where we just were. Josh Hines Allen, terrific interview by Hays as always. Those Hays 101s are terrific. Before that, we had some other fun stuff. We did our picks. We did that earlier in the program. Doug Pederson, the Jaguar coach, always joins us on Fridays, kind enough to call in, so we appreciate spending a little bit of time with the coach. Rafael Esparza from MyBookie talked about bets and plays to make, and we kicked off the show with Pete Prisco from CBSSports.com, brought to you by Showtime. So there you go. We had a busy show, a lot of fun stuff going on today. We appreciate you being part of it.
You had a walk-off clinic today, right? How did it go?
It was fantastic. It was a beautiful weather because there's always beautiful weather. It's interesting. We usually have between 120, that's not true, between 100 and 220 kids. So hundreds are our lean number. Still a lot, and 220 is a big number. Well, we generally combine two schools from two Title I schools. Today we were scheduled to have 250.
Wow!
So we were in a panic. It was our first one. Panic's not the right word. We just wanted to be on guard because it was our first one of the year, and Jared and Kennedy, our staff, do such a good job planning all this. They're so good. But we were on edge a little bit. Well, one of the schools had to cancel with a bus issue.
Oh.
So and they had testing, and so. So anyway, we wound up only having the 100, which for the first one of the year was perfect. I will tell you, we've added some softball elements. The girls softball team at Edward Waters brought the whole team out. They had a practice out there, and then they worked with our kids, so that was fantastic. FSCJ, UNF, JU, Edward Waters all had players out there. It was a wonderful clinic. So thank you for asking. It was our best. It was our first clinic of the year, and again, 100 kids, which is a very low number for us in one of these clinics. But it was okay. It was the first one of the year after all the rain, and so it worked out.
But you think of those 100 kids like going into the weekend and the stories that they get to tell, and the weather must have been the weather was fantastic. Great. It seemed.
I tell this story all the time. I probably say it too many. I'm probably redundant, but one always redundant, but more redundant than normal on this one. The magical moment. We bring them out, and I kind of talk to them for a minute. Then we get them stretched out in calisthenics. The magical moment is the first station, because that's where they get the glove. And these are kids that ordinarily wouldn't have a glove. That's just the reality of it. You can't imagine a little kid not having a baseball glove, but these are little kids that wouldn't have a baseball glove. And certainly a lot of them are. And so when they get their glove with the walk-off logo and their little baseball glove, and the coach tells them, okay, that we have these Sharpies, a bunch of Sharpies. So the coach hands out all the Sharpies, said, okay, put your name on the glove. That's the moment when you can watch them, Hays. You can watch the look on their face, and you can see the processing going on. And that's when they know, I get to keep this. Just watch it. I try to go to all the stations, as many as I can when they're getting the glove. And it's hard because they all get it at the same time. Just watching the looks on those kids' faces when they realize it's their glove to keep. That's the best moment of the clinic. I'm telling you, brother, that's the best moment of the clinic, is seeing these little kids realizing they're taking that glove home with their name on it. It's freaking magical.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So thank you for asking. We had a great clinic today, so we're excited about it. All right, big weekend coming up. Let's wrap one more time with our teams. Let's start with the Jaguars, even though that's the last game of the group. You're confident. By the way, all your logic makes sense. In the NFL, the 2-0 team that's feeling really good about themselves plays the 0-2 team that's reeling a little bit, yet both have pretty good players. The 0-2 team wins that game. I mean, that's just – you never quite understand why, but the 0-2 team in the NFL finds a way to win. It's almost like these movie scripts play out, right? And the 0-2 team finds a way to win that game. They just do. It's amazing the way – so your logic – expecting it to play out that way really does make some sense.
The other intangible to this game, too, that I wonder for Buffalo is going from Thursday night to Monday night and that long of a rest this early in the year. I mean, certainly physically it helps them to have the extra rest, but I wonder from a precision standpoint if that's affected at all. Keep in mind, Arizona should have beaten Buffalo in week 1. And the buzz on the Bills coming into the season was maybe they were going to take a little bit of a step back. Now, some people were like, well, they still have Josh Allen, so they'll be fine. And I thought they were going to win the division, but I thought they'd win the division somewhere around like 11-6. But now after 2 weeks, people are like, oh, the Bills are, they're a lead and they're gonna romp to the division. It's so early. It's just the nature of the league. And again, the Jaguars probably aren't going to have Evan Ingram, obviously, but it's not like they're so beat up injury-wise that it's changed the makeup of the roster. The Jaguars still have a lot of good players. Christian Kirk is so due. I think he's going to get going. Obviously, we've seen what Brian Thomas can do. Buffalo is down 2 really outstanding linebackers and their nickel corner. So, yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But this league doesn't make a ton of sense. I think it'll be a great game. I think Buffalo will certainly have a chance at the end to win it. But I think the Jaguars are able to pull it out.
Yeah, so we'll see. Gators, you and I both think they're going to lose. I have not watched Mississippi State either. I haven't. They scored 56 on a small school. They played Arizona State a close game. I don't know how good Arizona State is, and then they got obviously embarrassed at home against Toledo. I just know they play fast. They have a good plan on offense. The quarterback isn't bad. I just can't imagine Florida. Now look, maybe they won't out-physical Florida like everybody else tends to do, but I just don't think Florida's got very many good players. I can't imagine that they're going to slow them down a whole lot. It just doesn't.
And where's the confidence level? Yeah. You made a great point earlier. Mississippi State's in the first year of their administration. They're building. When you're building something, it's easy to be optimistic with young men. It's really hard when everybody knows that the coach is getting fired, whether it's this weekend or whether it's in a week or whether it's in a month or 2 months. Billy Napier is getting fired. So the second something goes wrong for Florida, and it will in this game, how do they respond? Well, they've shown no ability. Keep in mind, the Samford game was a 14-point game at the half.
Right.
Florida can't even blow out a Samford team.
Right.
So I just, going on the road, I mean, this has been a coaching staff that's had trouble operationally anyway. First road game,
And it is hard.
I think it's going to be a total mess for the Gators.
And your word, confidence, it is hard when you don't have confidence. I mean, these are college kids, man. And when they don't play with a confidence and a swagger and a belief, it's really hard to win the game. So certainly that's the case. And Florida State, we'll see. I picked FSU to win only because I just can't imagine losing at home again for the Seminoles. I just can't imagine it. But I will tell you, that is an important game, man. See, Florida, it's hard for me to even talk about the importance because I think it's over. FSU's still trying to salvage something with their coaching staff, so it'll be awfully hard. I can't imagine it happening. We'll see what it does. All right, let's say hello to Matt Hays.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
College kickoff comes up in about 10 minutes. Matt and JJ will have that for you. How you doing, buddy?
Y'all ready for some ball?
Yes. Are you kidding me? I'm going to listen, let me tell you how ready I am. I'm going to an Illini watch party tonight. Got that
Good
going
for you.
How about, see, you don't have that going for you, do you?
Really? Where is that?
Mr. Chubby's, come see us. You're at the beach.
Well, Shad be there.
Yeah,
I may.
I don't know. He might be. So
It's a good game, by the way.
I got some buddies that are big Illini fans, and I told them I'm going to go.
Couple unbeatens.
Yeah, that's
Big Ten opener.
Absolutely, lid lifter. Big Ten lid lifter is what that is.
That is a lid lifter.
If Mississippi State 34, Florida 12, they fire him Sunday.
Yeah, I think so.
They might fire him Sunday.
I think he's going to get fired Sunday no matter what.
You do this Sunday.
Yeah, if he loses, I mean.
Yeah, you think if they lose the game, he's fired Sunday.
I mean, yeah.
I think I won't tell you I think that, but I will tell you I think if they lose badly, it could be in place Sunday. My guess is he gets fired later in the year, the second open week. But
the second one, huh?
Yeah, that's what I think. But I've been guessing wrong on this.
Could be right. I mean, the money's there.
How good is Cal?
Really good defensively. Yeah, giving up 12 points a game.
I will tell you,
288 yards a game.
I told this story on the air. My buddy Roxy Bernstein with ESPN,
right,
went to Cal, and as big a Cal fan as Hays and I are Gator fans. JJ is a Miami fan. Oh, he's a diehard.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen anyone like that.
He is a diehard.
I've been to Cal for games, and I'm not sure I've seen Cal.
He is a diehard. He's a diehard.
Great place for a game, by the way.
Yeah, I've never been. Is that right?
Oh,
but he said to your point, he said this is about as good defensively as they've maybe been in forever. He said they have a really good defense.
That's Justin Wilcox. He's a defense guy.
Yeah. Are you? How many times have you been to Stark Vegas total? A bunch. Lost track. I mean,
5, 6. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been to Stark. You been to Stark Vegas?
Mm-mm.
I've been to Stark. I bet 3 or 4, and I kind of like it.
I do
fly
too.
To that little Golden Triangle Airport is what they call it.
I don't do that. You know what I do? I fly to Birmingham and drive it. The drive's unbelievable.
Okay, I fly to the Golden Triangle, which is about 20 minutes, and I kind of like Stark Vegas.
I do too.
I mean, I love college football.
Little small town. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. What's coming up tonight? What are you doing?
We're getting into that. We're going to get into. We will get into the Gators. If you think about this, okay, from the moment FSU hit 19 straight wins, man, talk about a free fall.
I know.
On and off the field.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Gators. Couple sneaky games, good games too this weekend. Yeah. It's the week before the conferences really kick off their games, but there's still some good games out there.
Hays Carlyon thinks Boomer Sooners got something for Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to roll them.
I think Tennessee pulls away in the second half, but it wouldn't shock me because that staff has coached in a lot of big games.
Yeah.
Brent Venables knows what he's doing defensively.
He does.
If they could just get something from Jackson Arnold, something consistent, the quarterback for the Sooners, I think they can win the game.
All right, Matt, have fun. Matt Hays and JJ LaSelva, they've got the college kickoff. It comes up right now. That'll do it for our program. Enjoy your football weekend. We will not have the Frangie Show on Monday because I'll be in Buffalo. You've got the kickoff show. You and me will have that.
Absolutely.
And so that'll kind of replace this, and then it'll be Jaguar radio coverage. Enjoy your college football, or at least try to. And then we hope you'll be listening when the Jags and the Bills get together on Monday. We'll be back in here on Tuesday afternoon to do the Frangie Show. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.